YouTube is full of videos about good knives. It's full of videos about bad knives. It's high time that someone makes a video about weird knives. This is 3 Weird Knives, and I'm your host, JJJinks!
Let's get weird.
Well, I decided to include this video in this series because I happen to have 3 knives. Well, I'm going to show you more than that. But anyway, I had this thought the other day. I am JJJinks. I like weird knives. Novelty knives for the, novelty. Yes. And I always kind of think, like, what would it be like if a major company made a novelty weird knife? KaBar to the rescue. Yes, this is the official, sort of, more on that later, United States Space Force fighting knife. Behold. So what we have is a traditional KaBar fighting knife made in the blue and gray motif of the Space Force line that they came out with sometime last year. The most notable difference between this and other KaBars is the material. It's very rubbery, very grippy, and that's great. They also put this gray finish on the blade, and I think, aesthetically speaking, it's a fantastic look. Good choice. Now, just to compare it to a KaBar fighting knife of the past, here is one of the USMC branded ones. And they are pretty much identical, other than the materials and the finish. I mean, here you got the stacked leather, and here you got the new space-age materials. Sheaths are also different. We've abandoned the more terrestrial materials for a plastic riveted type of deal. Now the knife snaps in with this little sort of ridge thing. You just kind of shove it in until it snaps. And bolted into it, we have a nylon strap with one of these plastic thingies, so you can strap it to things like your spacesuit. In addition to the fighting knife, KaBar also came out with this overpriced pry bar thing, which I think is fantastic. Just imagine you're out in space and you locked your keys in your capsule. So I think it would be great if one of these were featured in a movie, or actually just used in real life. It's got to happen at some point, right? The Space Force never officially adopted any of these knives. KaBar just got permission to use their logo, and that's why these exist, so that people like me will buy them for the novelty factor. KaBar also, more recently, came out with this bent-looking thing, which is called the TDI Astro. It is a fixed blade knife, and there's generally 2 opinions about this knife in the community. There are people who think it looks weird and probably wouldn't be comfortable. That's me. And there are people who swear by the TDI, say it's freaking great. Maybe I'll get it one day and be a convert. But did you know that KaBar also came out with a folding knife? And here it is with its blue and gray box. Yes, this is called the Courser. It is a long, slender tanto blade with the very handsome KaBar logo made in the likeness of the NASA logo. And if you get up nice and close, you can see the USSF written there. This knife was the reason I kind of made the plunge and went for the KaBar Space Force lineup at all. It's because of the scales. Check it out. It looks so weird. It's like little bubbly things. I believe they call it a stippled look. Well, you got a reversible pocket clip, and I like the little raised platform they give for the holes, which look like they are lined with brass. So that's pretty neat. We got black hardware, double thumb studded lock back knife, which is actually very, very comfortable. The stippled scales do give it a degree of grippiness. It's not rubberized, it's hard plastic, but I think it feels good. And you got a little bit of contouring going on here, sort of that ergonomic thing going on. recessed liners, so that's nice. I always appreciate that. And here you have the model number, the 5698 SF for Space Force, made in Taiwan. One more thing to note is that the knife is actually contoured in this direction as well. You can see how it kind of bulges here and then makes a depression here, and that just adds to the hand feel. And it's actually smooth-ish opening with just a little bit of a flick of the wrist. You can flip it out. So solid, satisfying, major brand making a novelty knife. I love it. Outer space is not the only thing that KaBar has made knives for. They've also made zombie knives. Believe it or not, KaBar, yes. This is the model 5700, which is a fixed blade tanto knife. And if you look at the scales, you can see a little bit of that stippling going on. Kind of an odd hook at the end, sort of makes it look like a parrot beak. They also made this one, the model 5701. It's kind of a small machete sort of look, again with that stippled scale. And the model 5705, which has kind of a cleaver look to it, again with that parrot beak at the end. But did you know that KaBar also made a folding knife to that series too? And here it is with its zombie green box, the model 5698 ZK. ZK for Zombie Killer. This knife was also made in Taiwan, and you can still get them. They're still for sale on some knife outlet storefronts, but they're getting harder and harder to find. The fixed blade models are the more popular ones. Now, this knife is pretty much identical to the Space Force knife, although it preceded it by several years. And if you look in the biohazard symbol, you'll see a Z and a K superimposed for the Zombie Killer Biohazard KaBar logo. It's got the same scales, and I think that the color choice with the black hardware, it looks awesome. I mean, the black against the neon green, it really pops. And I just had to have it. So good color choices so far, KaBar. Another knife series that KaBar came out with is called the Adventure series. This is the model 5601, the Bacon Maker. Oh, that is such a great name for a knife. It's kind of a clip point blade, a little bit of a recurve on the handle. I don't know any of these, but that's okay. And look, the same stippled scale kind of deal. Somewhat related is this one, the model 5604. You got that stipply looking scale. This is called the Warncleaver. And yeah, it's a big cleaverish Warncliffe kind of deal. These are actually kind of difficult to find. They're pretty old. But the Bacon Maker is what this next knife is all about. Yes, believe it or not, KaBar did it again. The Johnson Adventure Blade series. Bacon Maker folder. Notice we have the same scales, except in brown. Now, this one actually is a little different from the other ones. The blade is recurved, and we got this Adventure logo, which has a mountain with kind of a sun ray thing going on there. It kind of reminds me of like an Egyptian headdress. We got a little bit of jimping on the back here, and a little bit of, I guess that's jimping, stylized looking lines or something. Anyway, I guess you could call that a drop point blade, but it fits in very nicely with these other knives because it's the same handle. Now, they did make another version of this, the model 5598, which has just a slightly different shaped blade to it. Now, if I were a completionist, I would get that too and complete my lineup of these sort of companion folders, companion to the series, I guess. And I'm kind of wondering, what are they going to do next? This style has been around for many years, and it's kind of nice that they're continuing to use it. So we have the Adventure series, the Zombie Killer series, the Space Force series. What's left? What's next? What else do you fight besides zombies and cosmonauts? Well, I guess Pigs. Vampires. KaBar, I want you to make a vampire knife. It's gotta be red, right? Anyway, I just wanted to make this video just to point out that a major knife company makes cringy mall ninja shit too. Or maybe steampunk.